everyone, welcome to my very first journal with me in my new reading journal. I thought, why not put some mellow music in the background and do a rough little voiceover, I guess, where I just talk off the cuff about whatever I'm doing and explain to you my process and also just chat with you a little. You can see me at the very beginning. I chose out some stickers from the sticker sheets that I have. I had a rough theme in mind for when I was looking through the stickers, so I just took out whichever really struck my fancy and put them aside for later. I'm now taking this little notepad. It's a sticky notepad from Muji. I cut the sticky part out because for some reason the pen writes weirdly on the sticky part on the other side. I can't explain it. But yeah, so I cut that off and I'm writing the title of the book in which I am reviewing here in my journal, and that is The Burning God by R.F. Kuang. So much happens, and it is, it stays true to the Poppy War trilogy, stays true to R.F. Kuang's writing style and just the overall message of the story, in that it's a very real depiction of what happened in history. Knowing that, I think it was a lot easier for me to process the events, especially at the end of the book. To backtrack a little, I taped down the Burning God sticky note, and now I'm putting some stickers on there. I will link any stickers that I have used in the description as best I can. I'm not gonna lie, some of the stickers I'm using in this spread aren't my favorite. I mean, the quality is just kind of meh. Some of the stickers, like the black stickers that I use at the bottom of the sticky note and at the top there, those are really great. I really love this store. I think they make fantastic stickers and they have such variety, quality designs. But there are some other stickers that are hard to get out, and so I can't really recommend them to you guys in good conscience. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I'm sure you've noticed by now that I'm wearing a little thumb brace on my left hand. Nothing really to be worried about. I have a minor sprain on my thumb that's already starting to feel better. I just ran into a wall pretty much, and my thumb bent backwards, made some gross cracking sounds, and here we are with a bruised and sore thumb. So I wear the brace just to keep myself from bending it back and hurting myself anymore. But it should be all good in a couple of weeks, so hopefully you won't see too much of it. I usually like decorating a little part in the middle of the spread because it breaks up all of the text that I will be writing. And also, I love using an excess of stickers. I almost always use too many stickers. I could definitely hold back, but for some reason my brain says, you know what? We could use some more stickers. I just showed off the fountain pen I'm using today, and it's ink. So the fountain pen I'm using is the Pilot Kakuno in the medium-sized nib, and the ink is that Monteverde Canyon Rust ink that I've been using since I was in Australia. So I actually got this ink in Australia even though it's made in the US. I wanted to use my other ink colors with this pen, so I got a converter and it has been really nice. I really enjoyed it. Very interesting conversion process. You actually stick the whole nib in the ink and then you vacuum suck the ink into the well. So here comes the boring part where I'm just writing down my thoughts on the Burning God. I believe I start out talking about how I wasn't very surprised about the ending, and I know that a lot of people were surprised, but in all honesty, guys, it really closely reflects what happens in real life. if you've seen that really awesome post that Read by Tiffany has done. I will link that below. It's been talked about numerous times that Rin is a very close parallel to Mao Zedong, and the way that Mao Zedong pretty much exits his life is he comes to power, but he gets really paranoid and loses all trust in the people closest to him, even his closest advisors. And so if you've read The Burning God, that makes a lot of sense. For me, knowing that going into the book, it made the ending a lot easier. I wasn't too shocked by anything that happened in The Burning God, if I'm honest. I think I was still so shocked from the Dragon Republic that I just was kind of unfazed by The Burning God. But nevertheless, I found it really good. R.F. Kuang does a really amazing job of taking real-life events, real-life people, and putting them into this fiction setting with gods and shamanism and whatnot, and making this beautiful story that's just heartbreaking and awful and gut-wrenching. Now, there were a couple things that I didn't quite enjoy about the book. I should clarify and say that I did give this book a 5 out of 5 stars because I did enjoy it a lot. There were just a couple parts that I didn't quite enjoy, and so from now on I will be talking about spoilers. I don't like how easily the trifecta was essentially snuffed out, and that's what I'm writing about right here. I don't know why, but I was very excited to see them in all of their power, all three of them together, and see what destruction they can do. And I felt like that was going to be the turning point of the war. But that was not the case. If you've read The Burning God, you know what happens to them. And I just feel like we never really got to say our hellos and we never got to say our goodbyes. And I was a little sad about that. But I guess that's on me for getting so interested in what essentially are some pretty big villains in this point in Nikan history. Yeah, I was really excited to see Jiang back in the very end of the series. He was my favorite character in the first book. I found it incredibly interesting that the Jiang we knew in the first book is completely different from the one that we get to know in the third book. That he was just kind of reset for that time, but now he's coming back and remembering everything. And it's really hard for him because he did commit a lot of atrocities. So I found that really interesting, and I actually really liked how they changed that character. And the final thing I have a gripe about is the fact that they made another Sukka. So I pronounce it Sukka. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it. I think there's a pronunciation guide at the very end of Tiffany's post, but I just have been pronouncing it one way, and I will continue to do so because it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I was not a fan of more shaman people. Yeah, it felt really rushed and a little forced, and I know that it was like a last-ditch effort, but with the way that the climax happened, it felt so unnecessary for them to have gone through the training montage, as cool as the training montage was. And yeah, I was just a little upset by that. It felt really unnecessary, and I don't know if R.F. Kuang was doing that just to show how someone else besides Rin became a shaman, or if that was, trying to reflect something that really happened. But I Wasn't a huge fan of it. I liked the characters and I liked their powers, but I wasn't a fan of, you know, we're going to try and revive the Sukka by last minute training some kids who have no experience in warfare to yield these gods' power and hope everything turns out for the best. So yeah, didn't like that, but it's okay. Like I said, I really did enjoy the book a lot. The whole series is absolutely masterfully done. I mean, for R.F. Kuang to have done this in her late teens, early 20s is absolutely phenomenal. I can't stop talking about it when I recommend this series, that she wrote it so young. And it's such a devastating book. I mean, if you look back at all the things that happen, I don't know about you guys, but I can scarcely believe it. My hat's off to R.F. Kuang. This is a beautiful series, and she did an amazing job at wrapping it up and giving us all an ending that wasn't a happily ever after, but a believable one. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.